At the end of this lesson, students will be able to understand a conversation about a travel experience, read and understand a travel blog, use linking words and, but, so, because, when, write a travel blog. 1. Speaking and listening. A look at the pictures of Indonesia. Ask and answer the questions. 1. What can you see in the photos? 2. What do you know about Indonesia? 3. Have you been there? Would you like to go there? Why? Why not? Culture notes. Around 245 million people live in Indonesia, the fourth highest population in the world after the USA, China and India. Indonesia is made up of many islands which include Java, part of Borneo, Sumatra and Bali. It has a tropical climate with average temperatures ranging between 23 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius. Jakarta, on the island of Java, is the capital city of Indonesia and the largest city of Southeast Asia. Around 9 million tourists visited Indonesia in 2013. Borobudur Buddhist Temple, on the Indonesian island of Java, is the world's largest Buddhist temple. It was built in the 9th century and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is Indonesia's most visited tourist attraction. Visitors can see a huge number of Buddhist artworks carved into the stone. The Indonesian island of Bali is world famous for its tropical beaches. In the wild, orang-utans live only in the forests of Sumatra and Borneo. Both populations are endangered due to deforestation, although charities are working to save them. Specialist guided tours are available to visit orang-utans in the wild.
Track 1.46.
So, when I get to Jakarta, what should I do?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I left Indonesia about 10 years ago and, well, it's probably all changed now.
So, yeah, I think we'll just get a taxi from the airport to the hostel.
You could, but if you want to save money, I think there's probably a bus service.
I suppose so. Is that what you did?
Well, I was going to Jakarta to work, so someone met us with a car and drove us into the centre of town.
So, what was it like when you arrived?
Oh, it's something I'll never forget. You know, this was the first time I went somewhere that was completely different, the other side of the world. I remember we had a pretty bad flight. There was a long delay at the airport because there was something wrong with the plane, and we had quite a lot of turbulence. And as we were landing, I remember thinking, is this all a big mistake? But no, as soon as we got off the plane and I felt how lovely and warm it was, I began to feel much happier. I loved it there. I'm sure you will too.
And so, once you were away from the airport, what did you see?
Well, the first thing I saw was a traffic jam.
Oh no.
Yes, and a traffic jam that was much noisier and longer than in this country. And a storm.
Oh no, really?
Yes, quite often in the spring, the rainy season, there's suddenly a storm with heavy rain and lightning, and you just have to run for the nearest building. For me, it was exciting though. I expect you'll love it too.
You must have so many memories of your time there.
Yeah, I do.
Did you write them down? You know, do a blog or something?
No, I didn't have an internet connection in my apartment.
Or a diary or something like that?
No, I never did.
That's a pity, but you seem to remember it pretty well.
Vocabulary support. Have an internet connection, B1. If a place has an internet connection, you can use the internet there. Lightning, B1. Flashes of light in the sky during a storm. Rainy season, time of year when there is a lot of rain. C1.46. Listen again and answer the questions. 1. How is Tim planning to get to his hostel? 2. What were the problems with Karen's flight to Jakarta? 3. How does Karen describe Indonesian traffic jams? 4. How did Karen feel about the storms in Indonesia? 5. Why didn't Karen write a blog? D. Ask and answer the questions. 1. Do you write a blog or diary when you travel? Do you know someone who does? 2. Do you like reading other people's blogs? Why? Why not? Jakarta, evening. We've arrived and it's really exciting. It was a long flight, but I slept most of the way, so I'm not tired. When I got off the plane, I noticed the heat first 32 degrees. It's really humid, because this is the rainy season. Everything they say about the roads in Jakarta is true. When we left the airport, there was a huge traffic jam. It took a very long time to get to the center of town. We got a taxi to the hostel, where we're staying. The taxi driver was very friendly, but he didn't speak much English. I just showed him the address of the hostel on a piece of paper and he brought us here. I think we paid him too much, because he seemed very happy when he drove away. Sam's telling me to get ready to go and eat, so I have to finish now. More tomorrow. Vocabulary support. Flavor, B1. Taste in the mouth when we eat food, humid, B1. Weather that is hot and a little wet, local, B1. In the area near you, style, B1. A way of doing something, in this case, building, that is from a particular place or time. Wednesday the 23rd of April. Jakarta. The next day. Sam and I had a delicious meal last night in a small local restaurant. We were the only tourists there, so it seemed to be a place for local people. I decided to have nasi goreng because it's the Indonesian national dish. It was really fresh and full of flavor. I felt tired when I got back to the hostel and fell asleep immediately. Today we visited the old town. There are lots of old buildings in different styles. They're very attractive and very different from anything you see in the UK. I took a lot of photos. Answer the questions. 1. What did Tim do on the flight? 2. Why was the journey to the city center slow? 3. Why did Tim think the taxi driver was happy? 4. What did he think of the food at the restaurant? 5. What did he see in the old town? 3. Writing skills, linking words. Read the examples and answer the questions about the linking words in bold. 1. I slept most of the way, so I'm not tired. 2. When I got off the plane, I noticed the heat first. 3. It was really fresh and full of flavor. 4. The taxi driver was very friendly, but he didn't speak much English. 5. I decided to have nasi goreng because it's the Indonesian national dish. Which word do we use to? A. Say two things happen at the same time. B. Add a similar idea. C. Add a different idea. D. Give the reason for something. E. Give the result of something. C. Put but, when, so, or because where you see, in the sentences. 1. We were very tired, so we went straight to bed. 2. When we got to the hotel, I unpacked. 3. It was the middle of the night, so the streets were completely empty. 4. The restaurant looked small and cheap, but the food was amazing. 5. We gave the waiter $5 because the service was excellent. 6. We ran into a shopping center when the storm began. 7. We went to the National Museum because we wanted to understand more about the country's history. 8. We tried to check in, but we were very early and the desk was closed. 4. Writing. You're going to write a blog. Choose one of the topics. A holiday experience. Your first day doing something new, for example, starting a new course or job. A new place you visited recently. B. Make notes. Think about where you were, how you felt, what you saw and did, who you talked to. C. Write your blog. Use some linking words from 3A.